Okay. So, start na tayo. Okay, so, ayan. Start na tayo. Okay, so, um, a pleasant day for everyone, and this is our last topic, which is all about the global citizenship presented by the last group, which is the group one. So, for the objectives, please, I will give the floor to um, Luistro. Hello, objectives.
So for our wait lang, narinig ako. Okay na?
Okay na.
Hello? Okay.
Yes,
So
please.
for our objective, we will explain the definition of global citizenship and its categories. For the second naman is to discuss the types of rights and duties of global citizenship. For the last one, formulate a commitment statement regarding your rights and responsibilities.
And for the definition of terms, Maya.
Okay. So, good evening everyone. Narinig ba ako ng maayos?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So for my part, I'll be explaining the definition of terms that are important in global citizenship. So first, we have citizenship. So this refers to how residents live in a particular area with agreed rights and responsibilities. In short, it's about belonging to a community and following its rules. So next is rights. These are lawful, social, or moral principles that give us autonomy or entitlement. So basically, rights protect our freedom and dignity as individuals. Then we have duties. So these are obligations or expectations we need to perform, whether based on law, social norms, or moral standards. So duties remind us that being part of a community also means contributing to it. And lastly, we have global citizenship. So this is the belief that all people have rights, civic responsibilities, simply because we live in the same world. It's about thinking beyond borders and recognizing our shared humanity. So these terms, citizenship, rights, duties, and global citizenship, give guide us in understanding our role not just in our local community but also in the global society. So the next book.
Um, for the introduction, Kenji.
Good evening po. And proceed na po tayo sa introduction. So, citizenship can be defined through different lens ba yan? Okay. So, one,
Yes.
um, urban membership and status. Living in a specific area with agreed rights, responsibilities within political boundaries. So, um, for example po, meaning you're a citizen because you live in a specific area. So, for example po, sa barangay mo or pagiging Pilipino. And yung example natin doon, so, you have the right to vote. So, as a Filipino. Ayan. So, the next one po is practice and performance, meaning an institution that mediates and mediates rights between constituents and governing system can be unstable. So, meaning, This view something you do, not just status you have. So, for example, dito is um, protesting for better transportation, um, joining community cleanup, ganon. So, next po tayo. So, dito naman po tayo sa introduction. So, meron po tayong Socrates quotes that said, I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizens of the world. So, sa quote na to, hindi niya mismong um, tawag dito, hindi niya mismo sinabi na Athenian siya or Greek, but citizens of the world. So, meron po tayong questions ponder. One, why did Socrates say this? First, he valued reason over nationality. He believed that truth and virtue were universal. Where you were born didn't change what was right or wrong. Number two po is, what does it mean to be a citizens of the world? For me po, you see all humans as having equal moral as yours, regardless of country, place, or culture. Yun po. No? And last one po is, how would you feel if you were called a citizen of the world? So, syempre po, you should be proud for yourself being part of something that is bigger than your country. So, magre-reflect din po yun sa responsibilities mo. So, meaning parang ikaw sa sarili mo, parang may nagagawa ka hindi lang sa sarili mong bansa, bagkos sa ibang bansa rin nakakapag-contribute ka. So, yun lang po.
Okay, so Marvin, um, please pakidagdagan po tong what is global citizenship.
So, what is global citizenship? Ito yung isang pagiging responsible citizenship mo, hindi lang sa sariling bansa mo, sa Pilipinas, kundi rin sa buong mundo. So, iniisip mo dito na hindi lang sarili mo, may malasakit ka rin sa ibang tao o sa kahit ibang bansa ba, ibang bansa pa yan. So, membership and status living in a specific area with agreed right responsibilities within political boundaries. So, meaning, ito yung pagiging kabilang kasi sa bansa o lugar. So, may karapatan ka, may responsibilidad ka rin. So, for example, bilang Pilipino, mayroon kang karapatan na mag-aral, may karapatan ka rin na bumoto. So, pero responsibilidad mong sumunod din sa batas. So, number 2 is practice and performance. An institution that mediates rights between constituents and the government system. So dito, ito naman yung kung paano pinapakita yung actions ng pagiging mong citizenships. So dito, pinapakita mo kung paano ka kumilos, kung paano gumagana yung gobyerno para sa tao. So for example, sumusunod ako sa batas at tumutulong din ako sa komunidad. Pero ang gobyerno naman yung gumagawa ng batas para protektahan yung tao. So yun lang po. Next please po.
Okay, next, defining global citizenship. I think sa akin na to. So, ayan. Defining global citizenship. So, in our first bullet, so global means internationalization. So, from the word global, it includes um, the um, the whole worldwide and the intercultural aspect in education. So, tandaan natin na nasa topic pa rin tayo ng globalization wherein nag-exist pa rin yung sharing ng mga um, cultures and ng mga makabagong mga kaisipan. So, for the second bullet, the global citizenship. So, sabi nga kanina, yung global citizenship, it is um, global identity ng isang tao that transcends geographically or politically, and sabi na din dito is doesn't require that denouncing the nationality. So much for that. Um, we will move on to the three types of rights. Nino yan?
I'm audible po.
Okay, yes.
So let's start. The three types of rights. But first, let's define what is right. Rights are lawful or social or moral principles that protect a person's freedom, dignity, equality, and entitlement within the society. Also, rights help maintain justice, order, and respect among people in community or nation. Also, we have called human rights, which is basically the rights and freedoms that belong to every person or human. But first, there you have a big difference between rights and human rights. Rights are general freedoms or entitlements given by the laws. But where, habang yung human rights naman are fundamental rights na meron yung mga tao. So let's define what are the three branches of rights. First, the civil rights, which is the basic freedoms and protection granted to individuals by law. These rights mainly focus on the relationship between individuals and society that ensure that people can live freely and safely. So there are many examples of civil rights. The first one is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, right to privacy, right to equality before the law, right to dignity and respect, freedom from discrimination, freedom of movement, right to marry, and many more. And for the purpose of the civil rights are meant to protect the freedom or equality and dignity that people have or in the society. Let's na lagyan natin siya ng example. So sa Philippines, madaming tao or mga citizen na nakakapag-speak freely. Nakakapag-practice sila ng different religion na kung saan kita naman dito sa bansa natin na may iba't ibang religion siya. And nakakapasok tayo sa school, and nakaka-express tayo ng concern natin peacefully sa social or political issues man. And next naman, dako tayo sa political rights, which is ito yung rights na kung saan inaalaw yung citizen na makipag-participate sa government and political activities ng isang bansa. So, itong political rights are essential siya sa democratic governments because they encourage citizen participation and accountability dun sa mga linalok sa mga politics, sa mga politicians. So, there are many example of political rights. Unang-una, yung right to vote, na kung saan lahat naman ng tao dito sa Pilipinas ay may karapatan bumoto. And next naman is right to run for public office, right to join political parties, right to campaign for candidates na kung saan naman madaming dito sa bansa natin is free na makatakbo yung mga kandidato para sa election. And next is right to participate in peaceful protest na kung saan naman palaging nagagawa ng mga Pilipino na kung saan may karapatan nga sila na magprotesta ng peacefully na kung saan walang mga walang mga violente na mga tao na magpo-protest kung hindi peaceful yung ginagawa nila. And also right to petition the government na kung saan alam naman natin na tayong citizen is may kapangyarihan na magpatalsik ng mga government official na nakaupo and many more. So, bakit nga ba importante itong political rights natin? Because it allows citizens to have a voice in how their country is governed. They help promote democracy, equality, accountability, and freedom. And for the last naman, let's go to social rights. This is the entitlements that ensure individuals have access to essential service. For example, right to healthcare, right to housing, right to education, right to social security, right to pension, and many more. So, ano nga pong purpose ng social rights? This is intended to ensure that every person has access to basic needs and essential services necessary for a decent and dignified life. So, yung aim ng social right is to reduce poverty, inequality, hung- hunger, and homelessness, and social injustice. And bakit nga ba din siya importante sa bansa natin or sa lahat ng mga tao? Because it help people meet their basic needs such as food, shelter, healthcare, and education. It also promote equality, improve quality of life. And madam, and I will give some other rights na kung saan pahapyaw lang siya. Next right is economic rights na kung saan ito naman ay related sa work, property, and financial security ng mga tao. Next is cultural rights na kung saan yung mga tao is may karapatan na protektahan yung culture nila, tradition, language, and beliefs. And next naman is yung environmental rights na kung saan ito may karapatan yung tao na pangalagaan yung mga nasa paligid or may karapatan yung tao na manirahan sila sa malinis na lugar and healthy environment. So ayun lamang yung part ko. Again, we have three branches of rights: for civil rights, political rights, and social rights. That's all in my part.
So, ayun. Thank you, Mr. Abellion. Then, we will move on to the um, three types of duties naman.
And so now let's move on about the three types of duties. So first, ano nga ba yung duty? So yung duty ay isang obligasyon or responsibilities na kailangan nating gawin bilang citizen based sa batas, moral values, at social norms. So the first type is conscription. So ang conscription is obligasyon ng citizen na mag-register bilang reserve military force para makatulong sa pagprotekta ng bansa kapag kinakailangan. So, example na lang dyan kapag may national emergency o gera, pwedeng tawagin ng mga trained reserve soldiers para tumulong sa military. So, second type is taxation. So, ang taxation ay syempre pang araw-araw natin yan na kapag bumibili tayo, nagbabayad tayo ng mga buwis sa gobyerno. So, ginagamit ito para sa mga public services. So, example na lang dyan yung, kunwari, magpapaload ka. Siyempre, may tinatawag silang VAT o tax na kasama. So, ginagamit iyon para sa mga roads, school, sa mga hospitals at iba pang project ng government. So, sa third type is participation. So ang participation is sa pakikilahok sa sa community at sa mga activities na makakatulong sa societies. So halimbawa na lang dito yung pagboto tuwing eleksyon, pagsali sa clean up drive or pagtulong sa community programs. To conclude, ang tatlong duties na ito, uh, conscription, taxation at participation ay mahalaga dahil pinapakita nito kung paano tayo naging responsible citizens at nakakatulong sa ating bansa. So, yun lang yung report ko.
So, thank you, Mr. Soltura. And now, we will move on to the categories of global citizenship.
So, ay, nakapin mo ako. So, yan, okay na. So, hello. So, pag-uusapan natin yung different categories of global citizenship. And kung paano nga ba siya nakakapekto sa pananaw natin bilang isang tao or mamamayan ng mundo. So first, we have the open global citizenship. Ang kategory na to tungkol sa pagkakilala natin kahit magkakaiba yung mga bansa pagdating sa culture, language, beliefs at
Oo,
traditions.
yun na.
Pero connected pa rin tayo sa isa't isa. Dahil nga sa lumalawak na globalisasyon, technology, yung social media, mas madali na tayo nakikipag-communicate at cooperate sa ibang tao mula sa iba't ibang bansa. It also teaches us na we have to respect the diversity and understand other culture instead na husgahan natin sila. For example, kapag merong yung mga international students sa school or kahit online lang na friends mo, we learn to respect their culture, yung language nila, and yung tradition nila kahit iba sila sa atin. So for the second one, we have the moral global citizenship. Nakafocus naman ito sa ethics, sa values, tsaka sa human responsibility. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang tayo dapat concerned sa sarili nating bansa, kundi pati sa kapakanan ng ibang bansa or ibang tao sa buong mundo. Kasama na rito yung pagtatanggol natin sa human rights, sa quality, equality, sa mga fairness at pati na rin sa pagtulong natin sa mga nangangailangan na bansa or ibang lugar. At ini-encourage nito yung mga people na maging what's the word? Compassionate tsaka responsible sa pagdating sa individuals. So yung example is yung pagtulong sa mga victim ng natural disaster through donations. For example, yung mga panahon na merong sinalan tayong isang country ng bagyo is of course yung ibang country is mag-share sila ng donation nila doon sa country na yon. Mga or nagsisend sila ng mga volunteer para tumulong kahit hindi nila personally kilala yung mga victims. So for the last one, we have the socio-political global citizenship. Ang kategory naman nito, nakafocus siya sa social at political system ng iba't ibang bansa. It promotes awareness tungkol sa issue tulad ng mga discrimination and inequality, injustice, and lastly, yung pinakaano natin is yung poverty. So, hinihikayat din ito na yung mga tao mas maging active citizen sila. Makilahok sila sa pagbuo ng mga changes, mga positive changes para magkaroon ng mas patas tsaka mas maayos na society. For example, maraming kabataan ngayon na gumagamit ng social media para mag-spread ng awareness tungkol sa environmental issues na hindi lang naman isang lugar yung maaapektuhan, yung mga uh, yung global basta yun. Tas yung mga bullying, also yung mental health para makatulong din 'to sa pagbabago ng society. So, for overall, yung global citizenship, tinuturuan tayo na kahit magkakaiba tayo ng nationality, ng culture and beliefs, we still share the same responsibility as a member of a one world or one global community. Ayun lang po. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Miss Louise Tro. And we will now move on to why global citizenship.
So, rinig po.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay po, so proceed po tayo. So, proceed po tayo sa why global citizenship. So, ang global citizenship po is important because we're living in a connected world and so ang mga issue tulad po ng climate change, poverty, and conflicts ay at discrimination ay hindi lang problema po ng isang bansa, kundi problema rin po ng buong mundo. So, kailangan po nating matutong maging responsible, magkaroon ng respect sa iba't ibang tao at makipagtulungan po sa iba. Ay, narinig niyo po yung explanation?
Yes, yes.
So,
So, ayon po sa UN and
And ayon po sa UN 23 Agenda or SDGN 4.7, ang Global Citizenship Education ay isang strategy para sa sustainable development. And noong 2050 naman, hinikayat ng UN Secretary General ang mga educators na gamitin ito para ma-promote ang peace sa buong mundo. So, and next, ano po tayo? Next slide po tayo. Next slide po.
Okay na?
And isa po sa key principles nito ay learning to live together. Ang ibig sabihin po nito ay matutong umintindi at makisama sa ibang tao kahit magkakaiba tayo ng culture, beliefs at opinion. It teaches us respect, cooperation, and peaceful coexistence. Halimbawa po sa classroom may iba-ibang personalities at ideas ang classmate natin. So, imbis na mag-away dahil sa differences, mas magandang makinig at magtulungan para maging successful ang teamwork. So, next slide po. Sunod naman po is restore dignity. Ito ay tungkol sa bibigay respeto po at pagpapahalaga at sa karapatan at halaga ng bawat tao. So, it teach us people about social justice and basic human rights. So, example po, kung may classmate na lagi inaasar o na nalilep out, instead na makipagsabay po sa pang-aasar, dapat natin po siyang suportahan at tratuhin ng may respeto dahil lahat ng tao ay may right sa dignidad. So overall po, ay ang global citizenship education ay tumutulong sa atin na maging responsible, respectful, and caring to individuals para magkaroon ng mas maayos at mapayapang Earth. So thank you po.
So, ayun. Thank you everyone for your part. And now, we will move on to the issues in global citizenship na part ko naman po ito. So, as we can see on the slide, we have three main conflicts. So we have global versus national citizenship, global citizenship versus individual differences, and the last one is developing the global imagination. So eto na, yung mga issues or problema sa pagiging global citizen. Kasi kahit maganda yung idea na to, na yes, mamamayan tayo ng mundo, pero kung iisipin natin, if we will think outside the box, is hindi naman ganon perfect sa totoong buhay. In short, may mga conflict na nag exist and may mga tanong rather na mahirap sagutin. So, hihimay-himayin natin yan. Sa number one, or sa first bullet natin, global versus national citizenship. So, ibig sabihin, yung pagiging global citizen natin versus yung pagiging mamamayan sa sariling bansa. So, to explain this, for example, sa papel, sa mga documents, okay lang na sabihin natin na, ay, citizen tayo ng mundo. But in reality, is, di ba, kung gagamitin natin yung common sense natin, is nakatira pa rin naman tayo sa specific na bansa, di ba? Na may sariling culture, law, and may mga limitations. For example na lang, may mga bansa na hindi pinapayagan yung freedom of speech. So, bawal magsalita laban sa gobyerno, di ba? For example na lang sa China, since communist government sila. And marami pang iba. But, bilang global citizenship, is may karapatan ka raw sa freedom of speech. So, take note of that. So, papaano yon? So, sino yung masusunod? Yung batas sa sarili mong bansa or yung global right mo? So, yun yung conflict na nag exist sa global citizenship. So, dumako naman tayo sa pangalawa, which is the global citizenship versus individual differences. So, patungkol naman ito sa hindi pantay na pagtingin sa mga tao, lalo na sa mga hindi traditional citizen. So, for example na dyan is yung dual citizenship, 'di ba? Dito sa Philippines, pwede kang magkaroon ng dalawang citizenship. So, for example, hmm, Pilipino ka, pero may passport ka ng US. Sabihin nating pinanganak ka do'n and yung parents mo is um, nag-migrate do'n sa US and do'n ka na din pinanganak. And ikaw may kakayahan ka na kumuha ng dalawang citizenship as well as dun sa passport, no? For example na lang dun sa case ni um, Bea Milan Windorski na nanalo ng Miss Universe Philippines this month pala, no? So, yun yung naging issue sa kanya nung nanalo siya ng pageant. Yung pagiging Filipino niya. Kung Pilipino ba talaga siya or American. So, dito nag-i-exist yung issues ng global citizenship. Example dito yung dual citizenship. Another example para mas malinaw. English as universal language. So, as we all know that English is the lingua franca. English as a universal language. So, akala ng marami, English ang dapat gamitin sa global citizenship. Pero, based on my research, um, hindi naman English ang pinaka ginagamit na wika ng karamihan ng tao sa mundo. So, kung babalikan natin yung history, di ba? Mas nag-dominate yung wikang Spanish, di ba? Through colonialization. But in this case, so parang unfair, di ba? Bakit yung mga English speakers, yung may advantage. So doon na nag-exist yung issues ng global citizenship. So sana malinaw sa atin yung lahat. Then um for the last bullet, development of the imagination for global citizenship. So ito, medyo may kalaliman. Pero ngayon, padadaliin na lang natin siya. So, ang sabi, mabagal daw yung pag-develop ng global imagination. And sabi din dito, yung kakayahan nating mag-isip na para sa isang global citizen is hindi lang taga sariling bayan or yung tao na yun is hindi lang limited dun sa sarili niyang bansa. So, anong problema doon? So, kapag sinabing global, 'di ba? Madalas tinutukoy yung mga experiences ng nakararami. For example na lang yung mga mayayamang bansa. Yung mga sikat na culture and yung mga system na umiiral na. So, yung problem doon is naiiwan yung mga minority and yung mga nasa marginalized sectors. Yung mga mahihirap basically. Yung mga walang access sa educations and as well as yung mga refugees. So, to sum it up, no? So, ano ang bottom line dito? Yung pagiging global citizen kasi ay magandang idea siya, magandang concept siya. May karapatan ka and may responsibility ka. Pero, yung tanong kasi doon is, hindi siya perfect. Hindi siya perfect. And may mga aware tayo na may mga conflict even sa sarili nating bansa. And may mga existing na discrimination sa mga ibang tao and may mga limitations pa rin sa sabihin na natin sa mga skills natin, sa mga kakayahan natin, lalong-lalo na mag-isip ng tunay na globalization. So, ang mahalaga dito is, yung mahalaga dito is, lagi nating tanungin yung sistema, 'di ba? We all know na maraming nangyayari um, from the past days, 'di ba? Especially sa Senate, 'di ba? And yung global citizenship is importante na tanungin yung system. Kasi hindi enough na sumunod ka lang. Yes, maganda na sumusunod tayo sa batas natin, sarili nating batas, and so on and so forth. But if ikaw mismo may nakikita ka ng problem, 'di ba, na nag-i-exist whenever kung saan ka man mapunta, globally man or locally, is kailangan mo din maging critical. And kailangan mo din maging critical hindi lang sa government locally, kundi globally, kasi kundi pati na rin sa idea ng global citizenship mismo. So sana makatulong ito para sa kaalaman ng lahat. And that's all for our report, which is the global citizenship. So that's all. Thank you everyone.